Welcome to AR Mystery Hub. If you love thrilling tales filled with suspense and unsolved enigmas, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's fascinating story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our incredible mystery videos. Now, let's embark on the chilling voyage of the Mary Celeste, one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time. Introduction to the Mary Celeste. The Mary Celeste was a merchant brigantine ship that became famous not for what it did, but for what it didn't do. In December 1872, it was found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean near the Azores, completely abandoned, its crew nowhere to be found. The eerie silence surrounding this ship's fate has fueled decades of speculation, horror tales, and mystery. What makes this story so gripping is not just the disappearance of everyone on board, but the puzzling fact that the ship itself was still seaworthy, with no obvious signs of violence, struggle, or distress. The Mary Celeste has since become one of the most enduring maritime mysteries, captivating historians, mystery lovers, and conspiracy theorists alike. The ship's origins and history. The story of the Mary Celeste begins long before its ghostly discovery. Originally named the Amazon, the ship was built in 1861 in Spencer's Island, Nova Scotia, Canada. Constructed from locally felled timber, she was 99.3 feet long, rigged as a brigantine with 2 masts, and registered under British ownership. The Amazon's maiden voyage was unfortunately marked by tragedy. Her first captain caught pneumonia and died shortly after setting sail. Over the years, the ship endured a series of mishaps, including collisions, weather damage, and even running aground. By 1868, due to these issues, the ship was sold, repaired, renamed the Mary Celeste, and then registered under American ownership. In 1872, after several years of spurring along uneventfully under various captains, the ship underwent a major refit costing roughly $10,000. It was extended, strengthened, and made ready for longer voyages. That year, Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs, an experienced and respected mariner with a long seafaring pedigree, took command. Briggs was 37 at the time, married to his cousin Sarah Cobb, and father to a young family. He handpicked a trusted crew of 7 men for what would become the fateful voyage. The fateful voyage. On November 7, 1872, the Mary Celeste left New York City bound for Genoa, Italy. On board were Captain Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 7 crew members. The ship was loaded with a cargo of 1,701 barrels of industrial denatured alcohol, along with a 6-month supply of food and water. The voyage initially seemed routine, but was marred by rough weather across the Atlantic. The last recorded log entry was made on November 25th, near the Azores Islands, almost 3 weeks into the journey. Captain Briggs reported normal navigation despite some mention of turbulent seas. After this, the ship vanished from all records, until it was spotted adrift nearly 10 days later discovery of the ghost ship. On December 4th, 1872, the British brig Dei Grazia, approximately 400 miles east of the Azores, spotted the Mary Celeste motionless in the choppy ocean. Captain David Morehouse, the Dei Grazia's commander, was stunned to see the ship drifting without any crew aboard. Boarding the Mary Celeste, Morehouse and his crew found the ship intact, but eerily deserted. The sails were partly set, the ship was seaworthy, and personal belongings of the crew and passengers remained untouched. Food was still available, and the alcohol cargo was largely undisturbed. However, some chilling anomalies were present. The lifeboat was missing. About 3.5 feet of water was sloshing in the ship's hold. The ship's pumps showed signs of recent use and disassembly. The ship's compass was damaged but functional. Hatches were left open, allowing water ingress, though not enough to endanger the ship. There was no sign of struggle, violence, or theft. No notes or distress signals were found. The crew, Captain Briggs, his family, and the rest were simply gone without a trace. The Dei Grazia's crew sailed the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, where a British Vice Admiralty court conducted a salvage hearing. Suspicion of foul play was high, but the investigation uncovered no conclusive evidence of mutiny, piracy, or conspiracy. Theories behind the disappearance. The mystery of the Mary Celeste's abandoned ship has sparked countless theories through the years. Here is a rundown of the most prominent ones. 1. Misinterpreted danger and abandonment. The most widely accepted theory involves a tragic misunderstanding. Captain Briggs likely believed the ship was in imminent danger of sinking due to water in the hold. The sounding rod, a tool used to measure water depth in the bilge, was found on deck, suggesting it was recently used. The pumps were disassembled, possibly malfunctioning and unable to keep the water out. This would have alarmed Briggs, especially with his wife and child on board. In panic, Briggs may have ordered everyone to temporarily abandon ship into the lifeboat to await safer conditions. However, some mishap could have severed their connection to the Mary Celeste, e.g., the towline breaking, leaving the crew stranded in the open sea and ultimately lost. 2. Explosion fears from alcohol fumes. The cargo of denatured alcohol was volatile, and barrels could have leaked fumes below deck. Rumors suggest the crew feared an imminent explosion from these vapors. This may explain the hurried abandonment. However, there was no actual explosion, damage, or fire evidence on board. The crew may have evacuated for safety, but never returned. 3. Severe weather and rogue waves. The Atlantic is prone to sudden, violent weather events including rogue waves and waterspouts. The ship might have encountered such a phenomenon, forcing the crew off their vessel temporarily, possibly with tragic consequences. No direct weather records confirm this, but it remains a plausible explanation. 4. Pirate attack or mutiny. Some early speculation involved pirates or crew mutiny. However, with cargo and valuables untouched and no signs of violence, these theories lack supporting evidence. 5. Insurance fraud. Another conjecture involved an insurance scam involving the ship's owners or crew. However, the ship's owners did not file insurance claims, and the ship remained in use for years until wrecked in an unrelated incident. 6. Paranormal explanations. Over time, ghost stories and supernatural theories have emerged, ranging from sea monsters to curses. Though popular in fiction, these ideas remain outside credible evidence. Aftermath and legacy. The Mary Celeste returned to port under the care of the De Grazia crew, sparking worldwide intrigue reported by newspapers and later becoming a fixture in maritime lore. Despite thorough investigation, the mystery of the missing crew was never solved. Captain Briggs, his family, and the 7 crew members were never seen or heard from again. The ship itself continued sailing for another 13 years before being deliberately wrecked near Haiti in 1885 in an insurance fraud attempt, unrelated to its original mystery. The enigmatic case has inspired countless books, documentaries, films, and even fiction, including Arthur Conan Doyle's famous 1884 story, J. Habakkuk Jeffson's Statement, which sensationalized the event. Reflecting on the mystery, the Mary Celeste exemplifies the unpredictable dangers of the sea and the limits of human control over nature. The combination of mechanical failure, harsh weather, and human error likely led to a heartbreaking decision with fatal consequences. Yet the lack of concrete evidence leaves the story open, inviting endless speculation and fascination. Thank you for joining me at AR Mystery Hub for this eerie journey into one of history's most captivating maritime mysteries. The story of the Mary Celeste reminds us how vast and unknowable the ocean can be, and how sometimes the greatest mysteries are those we may never fully understand. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you won't miss our next deep dive into mysterious phenomena. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the unknown.